People have laughed, people have mocked me, but we don't see a lot of smokestacks, you don't see a lot of industries, manufacturing, or that type of things here happening in Floresville. But we do have the beauty of Floresville to exploit and to invite people in. And the Peanut Festival is the one that can do it. There are things that I feel that we could change in the festival, and that's my personal opinion. But obviously, it has been successful over the years.
Do we already have the bands set up and who's going to entertain it?
The one thing I would say, and this is, like I said, just take it for my opinion, some of the things like that we used to have, like the Fiddlers Contest, make Floresville have that special niche, whatever it may be, whether it be the Fiddlers Contest or whether we have, Maclovio or whatever it may be, let's develop that niche here for Floresville. I know we're going to start having that balloon ride once a year. That's going to come in October, right after the Peanut Festival. And that's supposed to be an annual event. Also, we're going to have December. Hopefully that kicks off again and we start having an annual holiday extravaganza where people all over Texas and all over the Southwest can say, we know in Floresville, Texas, during the holidays, we're going to have the best of the best music in Floresville. We can stay at a nice motel, visit the golf course, visit the downtown restaurants, and listen to some top-notch entertainment. The festival does have its niche already, okay? We know it's the second week in October every year. But let's go in beyond that. And I promise you, I'm never going to vote for it to be moved outside of downtown. I'll never do that. Because I like that small town atmosphere that we have here. But how can we enhance it? How do we bring in more people and retain them? You know, and I hope with this $25,000 that we'll give you tonight, that we can find ways to enhance it, to attract and retain more visitors into Floresville. Because that's the whole purpose, to bring heads to beds. And there has to be a cooperative effort between Floresville, the city of Floresville and the Peanut Festival. And if there's no other discussion, Mayor, I'm going to make the motion that we...
It's for discussion.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Okay. From there on, we are going to go on to take a vote, but I am going to urge the council to up that $25,000 to give them enough money for the advertising that it's going to require to get us all these extra people into town. I think it's a very worthy, and as long as y'all promise me that there'll be peanuts hanging in front of the stores, because that's what I grew up with.
Mayor. Mayor.
It has 25 minutes.
I'm going to make the opinion that we're limited to 25, just the way the agenda is worded.
But we could table it and bring it back the next.
Certainly could do that, sure.
Well, we can amend it now.
Well, I think we're limited to vote on up to $25,000 tonight. If council would want to provide more money later, you could put that on a future agenda.
You all agree to that?
Agreed.
That you'll come back with the additional?
What's the consensus at 30,000?
Let's say at least 35.
35 would be all right.
Come back.
That's good.
We'll do what you're asking.
Table, and then you give me the amount that y'all want, and we can put it on the next agenda.
But please remember, the amount of the 25 was based on the request. It wasn't the status, so.
We can go ahead and vote on the 25 and then come back at the next council and do the additional.
Can we put a caveat, internal caveat, that we don't wait 2 or 3 months to cut the check for this? That we can write it right away?
Can we do it in a point as a purchase order?
The checks are already.
The other checks that were awarded, the delay was that in one, it was just said and approved that we were gonna assist, but there was not an amount either on the agenda or on the minutes. So that's how come we needed to come back. And then on the second one, I don't think there was a big delay.
No,
It was about a week turnaround.
So, Connie, you could say that they could have a check for Monday if the council approves tonight.
Absolutely.
And Mayor, you would be prepared to sign that check on Monday?
Can we do it in a form of a purchase order? Like, say,
You can.
Oh, I don't want, don't mess with her, please.
Now, could you, as far as like going over their sponsorship, could you just do it today as a title sponsor? And then you come back next week and you do either a diamond or a platinum sponsor, and then you can do multiple sponsorships. I mean, it's still, so you've got an agenda item today where you can still approve 25,000, and then you can bring it back to the next meeting and do either a diamond or a platinum sponsor.
And it's not gonna be part of the motion, but let's think about, ways to enhance the festival. The fiddler's contest, I thought it was great.
And something that we discussed last night, something that you can also do in the future, or like say for next year, if the city wanted to come back and say, okay, we're gonna sponsor you by giving you the $25,000, but then in addition to the $25,000, we want to give $15,000, or we will go out and work with the Peanut Festival and bring in these entertainments like for the day on Saturday, and the city will pay for that. That was one of the things that we also discussed last night. So we can work
We could do that
together to where if you want to do a sponsorship of 25, and then if you want to sponsor an entertainer for the afternoon.
Would y'all be
I
willing to?
personally think that it's more of a benefit to the association if it was just done as a lump sum. I mean, but what is the,
I just want to add, and I apologize for talking on a subject that is not my matter, but I'm from the Valley, and that's 4 hours away from here, and I never in my life heard about Peanut Festival until I come here. So advertising for that organization is very important.
Well, you need to send invitations, Connie. They have these little peanut bags that they do. They have some.
I can help in that matter, but
but they're raw, they need to be cooked.
And I'd also like to say, I'm working on a television package that will probably be the most effective we've had yet if we have the funding. This is why we're requesting this. We have run some television, but television time, as you well know, is extremely expensive, much more so than radio. But this will give us a bigger bang for the buck. Could have a remote unit down here, doing it live, doing some coverage or some events live. And it's a win-win situation for the city and for us.
Exactly. Okay, with that, then we're going to go on to item 3E, consideration and action to approve disbursement of $25,000 of hotel motel tax funds on July 30th, 2015 for the end. Is that correct? No, the date's wrong.
That's just, I guess that's in disbursement?
I think the date she gave us Monday, correct, Henrietta? The disbursement date is Monday? Monday.
it's June 1st.
It is June 1st, not July 30th.
No, how does that work? Do we have to table it because of the verbiage?
No, we submitted that. The check will be ready.
No, that's the way it's written on the agenda.
It's just the word.
The date's fine.
Yeah, the date's fine.
No, it's not, it's on July.
Yeah.
I know the typographical, but
I don't
Mr.
think
No,
there's anything wrong with that because it still gives notice of the amount.
exactly, it's the dollar
As far
amount.
as, once it's allocated, it's paid, I mean, whether it's paid. My opinion is that the date's not material to that.
Okay. Okay, then, for the annual Peanut Festival held the second weekend of October, which this year would be October 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, 2015. May I have a motion?
Also move, Mayor?
We have a motion by Councilman Ortiz. May I have a second?
My second?
Second by Councilman Nieto. Councilman Rodriguez, how do you vote?
yes.
Councilman Guerrero?
Yes.
Councilman Tejada?
Yes.
Okay, and Mr. No, how can I put on there, or can we say at this time that you would be coming back for the additional funds?
I don't think
You
it's
just put
necessary.
that you can put a picture in there.
Yes. We're ready for that. Then someone needs to pick up a check on them?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Y'all can breathe a little bit better now.
Back to work.
If I may say something, and this is in reference to a comment that Councilman Tejada made on my email address, email site, and personal Facebook site. I put personal safety of this town first in weather disasters or weather emergencies. And I always am in contact with the National Weather Service, the local media in San Antonio, and we have a good relationship, working relationship with all. Monday night when the tornado tore through the east end of Floresville, first of all, my phone rang, and it was John Zeitler from the National Weather Service. He's a science and information officer, and he said, what's happening out there? So I started to do some other things as far as getting information. Of course, my cell phone was going off. Alex Garcia from Channel 29 called me. He said, let me know what you see and what we can do, and can you do a cut-in for me on the station? So we did that. But I just want to say that I always put Floresville and the community first in any weather danger, whatever. I have the equipment, the wherewithal, the training to provide this information to the county, to the city, and also to the media and the Weather Service. So I do really humbly thank those who have supported me in this, and I'm going to continue to do it. It's all voluntary on my own, and I do appreciate the help that the city and everybody else has given me in doing this.
Well, we appreciate what you do for us, and as far as I'm concerned, I always log on to Hunky for weather.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So far I have over 1,000 friends on Facebook, and that's where I post it, and I get a lot of replies.
You know we're going to get actual information.
And I know that the nice thing about it is I know the area. I know what's happening here, what's not happening here, as opposed to what the television reporters do. A lot of them are in their 20s. They have no idea. They have never covered a flood of 98. Flood of 98 as I have, or 2002. And as a matter of fact, I'm on call tonight because Alex called me. He said, hang loose, because he said, I might meet you later on this evening.
You need to wheel and deal and get some airtime in there.
We work on that. We work on that. Thank you again, Councilman.
Jim, let me thank you again. Margaret and I were in Fort Worth when I sent that message to you.
Oh, okay.
The TV was going in and out of at the hotel room, and I wanted to drive back home, so I just wanted to make sure how the weather was going to be, so I said, you know what, I'm going to look on Jim's Facebook page.
Sure.
And you gave me a clear path, and by the time we left Fort Worth to Floresville, not a single drop of rain, because we knew that it was going to stop raining around 11 o'clock in Fort Worth, and we just followed it all the way down from Waco Temple. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. And again, let's all keep in mind the tragedy in Wimberley and San Marcos, and keep all of those people who have lost everything in their lives, the ultimate sacrifice in the flooding, and offer our prayers and thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hamilton.
Now we're going to go on to item 3B, consideration and action to approve amending the independent contractor agreement previously approved by council on May 14, 2015.
Council, Mayor, thank you. See, Council, if you can look in your packages, Helen signed the agreement, but she wanted to make the amendment, and she initialed where it was. She scratched it out. Do you see that? That's the change she wanted to change. I initialed it as well as Connie. And so the mayor didn't feel comfortable in signing it without having the council to look at it before it was agreed upon. Helen has requested that she would bring it to report to myself and to Connie rather than come and present it to you on a monthly basis. And so she opted to take that out of her agreement. She did sign, she was fine with everything else. And so we're asking you to look at that and to approve the amended with her request.
I'm going to make a comment on that, okay? This contract was submitted and approved by her prior to any changes being made. It came to council for approval, got approved, and then she wanted changes.
No, I'm sorry. She did not get a chance to review it prior to the council
That
approval.
she should have before it came to council.
She was not available, ma'am. She was
Then
not
we
on
should have
vacation.
put it on till we could have gotten it already corrected. Second of all, if she's been elected to monitor the USDA from beginning to end, I think it's only right that she be the one to come here and present, and not a second-hand person. That's my opinion.
Can I, she cannot, it is not possible for her to see the USDA project from beginning to end when she's only contracted for 3 to 6 months. The USDA loan is not gonna end in 3 to 6 months. It's about what, 3-4 years before, 1.5 years before we get funded, and then after that, before we build the plan, and then after that, once we finalize the project, and we submit all the documentation that the project is finished. What she's trying and she's being contracted for is to assist me to take this project off. I need to separate the utilities fund into 2 funds. Right now I have it into 1. And I cannot do that by myself when I have other projects going on at the same time.
And is she working on that right now?
She's working on the bank recs. I need that done before I can separate the funds. Everything needs to be posted, anything needs to be adjusted before I can go ahead and separate the funds.
So how far behind are we on bank recs?
Pretty far behind, since October. When I started working here, we stayed behind because Fonda refused to go ahead and do the bank recs. So in October for the audit, I did from March to September.
Yeah, we need to focus on the agreement, and so
Yeah.
she's asking that her preference, and she feels in her capacity, her request, that she'd be willing to work and agrees to everything in the contract except for coming on a monthly basis, reporting to the city council. So that was her
I have
request.
to agree that if she's only going to be here for a short time, I mean, she can't be giving reports on.
And then these 2 ladies are the ones who are held accountable at the end of the day by us and who we're talking to, so.
Right, so I talked to the attorney, and I'm sorry, it wasn't this one. Lou said that if it's a scriminal thing, if she crosses it out, it doesn't change the dollar value or the term of the agreement. It just says that she won't be coming to report to you. She initialed it, I did, and so the county, that's what was her request. And so to honor her, because it's kind of like, she really wants to stay out of it. That's what she had over there in Pleasanton. She's not trying to get into politics. It's a temporary, like a seasonal worker, so that's what she's requesting.
She's not an employee, it's just a
And I'm a little
contract.
confused then, Henry, because if she's gonna be working on the project while Connie's doing her other stuff and you're doing your other stuff, where do y'all all meet where she can tell you everything she's done?
Yeah, I meet with my staff all over town, all the day. I met with Helen today. I met with her Wednesday when we got her new desk. Okay, that's what you have Connie and myself for, is to report to the city council. As you can see, it's not fun coming up here reporting to you all. People get a little nervous. I'm getting a little better at it, but that's what the purpose of it is. And so she's here to give us a sense, because there's a whole lot we need to do.
Okay, so you feel comfortable and Connie comfortable that if she's gonna be doing the work, that y'all be able to come over here to us and answer our questions?
Definitely.
And she's right outside my door, so we communicate like in an hourly basis. If she has any questions, she comes to me, and she's actually working on the projects that I need assistance on, so I can go ahead and, I don't know if you ever done bank reconciliations, but they're tedious and they take a long time. So I need her time there, so that way I can free my time and do the other projects. But we're communicating, and then once she finishes that, we're gonna move on to the fund, to splitting the fund, because that's what I need her for. I need to split the funds, and I need the assistance to do the research, make sure that the amounts are correct when I split the fund. So that are the 2 major things that she's gonna help me with, and then the other ones is gonna be the water and sewer studies, which is also related to the USDA loan. But she's only assisting, she's not doing the entire work.
Councilman, how do you feel?
I make a motion to approve the amendment.
I second it?
I have a motion by Councilman Tejada.
Yes.
Second by Councilman Nieto. Councilman Ortiz, how do you vote?
I'll go for it.
Yes? Okay, Councilman Guerrero
Yes.
and Councilman Rodriguez.
I have to abstain.
Okay, motion carries 4-0.
Thank you, council. As we're wrapping up our wonderful meeting tonight, I have some calendar things that we need to discuss.
Okay, we're gonna go to item 3C, consideration and action to cancel the regular council meeting on June 11th.
Yes, Mayor and City Council, we had a brief discussion at our last workshop that I will not be available. I have a training and won't be available on June 11th. And I believe someone said they weren't available either on the 11th. They weren't going to be available.
That was Victor.
Mr. Quiroga.
So if you want to have, to reschedule the meeting, or you want to have it on the 11th, I'm looking to see, but we need to do so by council approval. So if you want to have the meeting on the 11th, without the city manager, I'm okay with that. But I need to have the direction, but I think somebody said that they would rather change it to another date. So that's what this item is about.
Can we do it on the 10th, which is the day before?
Well, I think these dates that we kind of worked out here, we also worked with Mr. Quiroga's schedule with the 4A and restructuring and everything, and with his calendar. So I think that's why during the workshop, we had picked the 18th, tentatively.
Yeah, we have picked the
And
18th.
that day worked for him, so I think we go to the 10th now, we have to go back. See if
But
he's
Victor will
available.
be here on, he's going to be here on June 1st to meet with 4A. He's going to be here on June 3rd to present as well. And then other meetings fall into place. Now, we did have a conversation earlier about a workshop with FEDC to talk about the YMCA and parks. And we've had a request from M&S, our engineering firm, to come and bring you a brief, that he wants to have a workshop with you of all the wonderful water projects we have. And I know, Mayor, you have been asking in reference to where we are. And so he wants to have an intimate discussion, but the only thing on the agenda is the 10th. M&S talking about all the wonderful projects that we have, from our water modeling to our water project, even looking at doing an application to the USDA as well, for water side. So that's a workshop that was there. So we can offer to have a meeting on your regular council meeting. It'll be a special meeting on the 18th if you care to.
You'll be back at that date already?
Yes, I'll be back. Yes, and then I will be here on the 10th as well if you care to meet that day. We can have M&S come on the 8th or the 9th. EVC, YMCA park meeting you can have on the 30th. Staff is looking, so we'll know how we want to be able to post this. But we can just start with, on the agenda, do you want to establish the regular meeting on June 11th to cancel that and set up a special city council meeting on the 18th is the first question. So I can say,
I'm okay with the 18th.
Yeah. Just Danny and one.
I'm fine.
then what we can do is come up with a calendar of events that you can approve at your workshop meeting, because you do have some CNA things, and we'll come up with a calendar for them to approve on the 3rd. So we can lay out the rest of these dates, but on the agenda for tonight, the 11th and 18th is what's up for discussion and vote.
Let me take a vote on that.
Okay, did we give an answer to the gentleman from the YMCA, or is he going to go back to the?
He's presented some financials to you in the green folder there for you tonight, and I thought the direction of the council was to meet with EDC so that we can talk about all the projects, YMCA and parks as well, and we'll come up with a workshop date. Because June 8th is their next meeting, I believe. They're having a big meeting next, on the 8th.
Okay, let me take a motion here to cancel the regular council meeting on June 11th. May I have a motion?
Make a motion to cancel the.
Can I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Rodriguez, second by Councilman Guerrero. Councilman Nieto, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Ortiz?
Yes.
And Councilman Tejada.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. And then to schedule a special city council meeting for June the 18th. Can I have a motion for that?
Motion to schedule a special meeting for June 18th.
Can I have a second?
Second?
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Rodriguez, second by Councilman Nieto. Councilman Tejada, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Ortiz?
Yes.
And Councilman Guerrero.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. With the meeting is adjourned at 9:08.
Thank you.